car. My dog had to have some oral surgery today, so I'm on my way home from picking her up. And as I've been driving around today, I've had many different thoughts in my mind about many different things because I'm a dreamer. I like to think about things and the possibilities and creative things and all these things. So, especially when I have the music turned off and silence in the car, my mind can go to all these beautiful places. It can go to some dark places too. But one of the things I noticed today as I've been driving around is it's fall, and just the beauty of what I see. And then I can turn, or I can look down, or I can look in a different direction and see things that can upset me, or that they are ugly, or that just the dichotomy between where we fix our eyes sometimes. And it is reminding me of what we're talking about in the book of James, right? About counting it all joy and the perspective that we have on our trials. So it all depends. This is what I've just been thinking about, is like, it depends so much on where I have my eyes focused. Because I can right now look to my right and I see a beautiful line of trees in all different colors, with a sky that is filled with clouds. I love clouds. Puffy clouds, streams of clouds, individual clouds, and then some cloudless, beautiful blue area. Or I can look to the left and I can see billboards and advertisements and the county jail and all these things. So my perspective makes a difference on what I see and how I feel about the world around me. The same is true with my trials. If I am focused on myself, how I feel, if I am focused on my trial and why is this happening to me and why it's not fair. And that can happen, one, because we have the wrong perspective, or maybe just because we're tired. And when we are tired, or when we've been isolated, it can be very hard to have the right perspective because because we're weaker. We are weaker. So as we go through trials, it is important that when we realize, not if it happens, because it will happen, when we realize that we have taken our eyes off of Jesus, we've taken our eyes off of the purpose of the trial, we've taken our eyes off the joy, that we quickly try to reorientate back to Jesus. And it can be as simple as opening His Word, or turning on a worship song, or playing the Bible as your audio book, or calling a friend and asking them to pray. Just like right now, I can look at the fields that have been mowed down and there's nothing in. I can look at the gas station. I can look at the road construction, or I can fix my eyes ahead on the beauty of what is in front of me, the trees. There's a beautiful farm with all these it all depends on where I'm fixing my eyes. So if you're going through a hard trial right now, fix your eyes on Jesus. And if you need help with that, call a friend. If you don't have a friend that you can talk to about that, you need to get connected to your local church. Find a local church that will pray with you. Find a pastor or an elder of your church if you go to a church. Ask them to pray for you. Turn on that Bible, the Holy Bible audio. It's free. You can get it for free. Turn it on. Turn on your local K-Love station and listen to the music that God has for you. But you must reorientate yourself to have your eyes fixed on Jesus so that your perspective you can find that joy and that perspective on the trial. You still may not know why. You may not know how you're going to get through or what your next step is going to be. But when your eyes are fixed in the right direction, you can still see beauty. You can have joy. You will have peace in the midst of that circumstance. People may be going through the same trial year after year for many years, and if we are foolish enough to think, because we only see a glimpse of them going through that trial, that they've never lost sight, or they've never looked away, or they've never had the wrong perspective, we are probably wrong. Because as human beings, it is easy to take our eyes off of Jesus. Even Adam and Eve did, and they knew his presence. They didn't have other people feeding into a wrong heart attitude. They didn't have media, social media, radio media, TV media that was pouring in wrong messages, and they still took their eyes off of Jesus. So it is not a failure, but it is important that we quickly reconnect ourselves with the vine. God is the vine. Jesus is the vine. We are the branches. We must stay connected so that we have that life-giving purpose and peace and joy. Well, that is what I've been thinking about a little bit today, because again, my mind can be like a pinball machine. And for those of you who have ADHD, you can completely understand. I don't have ADHD. But as a creative person, if you're a creative person, it is easy for your mind to go ding, 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 because you see something and you think of something beautiful that you might want to create. Or for me, I like doing all the art projects, all the creative projects. And so I'll be all of a sudden thinking about, what do I want to make? What do I want to create? So my mind can go boom, 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 boom. But today, every time I turn my eyes back towards that beautiful skyline and God's creation, it's like that peace comes over me and my mind gets focused and I'm reminded of who Jesus is. I've had to do that. I've been driving in the car. The car can get boring. I've had to do that a dozen or more times already today. Refocus my mind on Him and His beauty, to keep control over my own thoughts and emotions. But He is so good and so consistent and so perfect in His character that every single time I feel the peace and the joy. It's unfortunate that I can't seem to stay there. I don't know why. Once you feel it, you want to keep it, but it's still easy to let it slide. But if you're like me, and you have to ask God for forgiveness multiple times a day, or reorientate your mind multiple times a day to keep it from spiraling out of control, don't feel bad. Just go back. Don't let your emotions keep you from refocusing yourself on the Lord. He loves you. Just like a parent loves his children, and they will grant them forgiveness every single time. And God is the perfect Father. He will always grant you forgiveness. He wants you to come back to Him over teeny tiny things that we think are teeny tiny, and over the big things. There is nothing that can keep us from Him but us. So let that sink in. I hope that resonates with somebody. Today is the day that the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. I hope you have a great day.